This Raleigh suburb is exploding, and if you don't get in on it soon, a lot of the early opportunities are going to be long gone. One of the most common questions I get from people is, where is the growth? And the reality of it is that there is no lack of growth around Raleigh. But this one particular area has caught my attention year after year. So the Raleigh area has grown in different phases over the last few decades. Of course, the tech boom really took the area off with SaaS and RTP developing back in the 60s and 70s. After that, you had the growth of Cary and the other towns around Raleigh. Now those areas have reached a critical mass and people are looking further and further out for where the opportunities are. What I want to show you today is one of the last great growth stories left around Raleigh. The area that I'm talking about is near the Wake Tech South campus. This is the area between Garner, Fuquay-Varina, and Raleigh itself. Now, over the next couple of months, they're supposed to be completing the I-540 Beltline project, which is going to change the commute to this part of town. Now, in prior years, this was the area that people came to try to get away from the city a little bit, have a little bit more space to build, and have a little bit larger homes. Now, there's still a lot of that around, but a lot of the growth that's going on right now is the Pulte tract-built homes. So the last couple of years, your only option around here was to go to the Harris Teeter, and that was about the only shopping choices that you had. Besides that, you'd have to head up into Raleigh or Cary or down into Fuquay-Varina, but that is changing quickly. Now, over the last couple of years, traffic has definitely gotten a little bit worse over here. You know, every one of these developments that I mentioned have 100, 200, 300 homes. You figure the average American home has at least 2 cars now, so for every home that they build is 2 more cars on the road. Now, traffic does get frustrating here in the evening, but the reality of it is with the 540 Beltline opening soon, that should hopefully alleviate some of the back road traffic that we see. Help me get this channel in front of more people like you by subscribing to the channel and giving me a like. This area has already exploded, but there are still opportunities over here. There's still quite a bit of new construction to choose from, and some of the older neighborhoods are really starting to see a revitalization. So just over the last 3 years in this area, we've seen the completion of the Costco shopping center, seen D.R. Horton Lake Wheeler Village, Pulte Rutherford, Pulte Royal Creek, which is where I am right now, Legacy Farms, Taylor Morrison Brighton Ridge, and I-540 is nearing its completion. So those are just projects over the last couple of years that have started and finished. On top of that, there's still some major development projects going on. One is Pulte Exchange at 401, which is a huge community. High Grove Oaks with Mattamy, which I just did a video on a few weeks ago, and that one is selling like crazy right now. And then there is also some large apartment buildings going in. So the area that I'm talking about encompasses 4 zip codes: 2726, 27539, 27603, and 27592. Now, 401's main corridor running through this area. You can take 401 straight up into Raleigh or straight down into Fuquay-Varina. Average home price right now is between $500,000 and $600,000, but there's quite a spread in this area. You can get some smaller, older homes, let's say under $400,000. And then there's also some new construction here, which is well in excess of $1 million. So a lot of the newer homes are gonna have smaller yards. Houses are a little bit closer together, but you get a little more square footage for your money. A lot of the older homes that you find around here were built on large lots. It's not uncommon to find a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot house out here on 1, 2, even 3 acres. Now, of course, you have to pay for that. There's quite a premium. Right now, there's a battle between the local jurisdictions to figure out whose growth is whose. Now, of course, these towns want to expand their influence and put infrastructure down for future growth and, of course, grow their tax base. As far as the schools go, as long as you stay up north of Fuquay-Varina, these are all going to be Wake County schools. Now, it's hard for me to tell which school your kid's going to go to, because on this side of the street they could go to one, and on the other side of the street they could go to an entirely different school. So if you're looking for a specific school, we're going to have to dig pretty deep on that to make sure you're ending up where you want to be. On I-540, that's supposed to be completed in the spring. Now, that is going to be a toll road, just like it is in the northern parts of Wake County. They haven't released their fee schedule yet, but I'm guessing that the I-540 ramp from Wake Tech up to North Raleigh is probably going to be somewhere between $3 and $4 for that leg of the drive. So over the last few years, it seems like that project's gone really slow. But now that they have all the major infrastructure out of the way, I've been watching them pave the road, and it's just incredible the speed that they're paving at. I just wanted to give you a quick driving tour of the area. So the spot that I'm pulling out now is from Pulte Royal Creek facing Costco. And right now it's about 4:30, so we're getting towards peak traffic here. Now, a short drive from Costco up 1010 Road, which is what I'm on here, is Legacy Farms up on the left. And this is one of the neighborhoods I want to show you. Over the last couple of years, this neighborhood was built out. It started with nothing. It's a brand new subdivision. And the builder went in, built, and sold. And now the neighborhood is complete. Now, this is the intersection of 1010 Road and Lake Wheeler. Now, this neighborhood I'm pulling into is Legacy Farms, and this was just completed in the last 2 years. Now, the next area that I'm going to drive to, so I'm leaving Legacy Farms and I'm headed down Lake Wheeler Road. Up ahead on the right here is where D.R. Horton Lake Wheeler, Village at Lake Wheeler is located. And then a little bit further up from here is a Pulte Rutherford neighborhood. Now, I want to show you some of the older homes in the area over here. So we're still very close by Costco, but this is one of the older neighborhoods. Now, you're going to see what I was talking about here, where a lot of these homes are on 1 or more acres. They're 2,500 to 3,500 square foot. And just off the top of my head, price range for these is going to be somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000, depending upon your square footage. But you can see the neighborhoods are a lot more mature, the trees are grown, and these neighborhoods were built in the 90s. Generally speaking, they were built in the 90s. Now, the next area that I'm going to take you is down Lake Wheeler here. So this is a pretty country road that's gotten fairly busy over the last couple of years. And I'm going to take you down Lake Wheeler Road, and just up on our right here is where D.R. Horton Lake Wheeler Village at Lake Wheeler is. And then we're also going to pass under a overpass for the new highway. So you'll see this big giant brick wall that we're coming up on. That's the sound barrier for the new I-540. You can see it's a mess right now, but they're working on it. They're getting it all cleaned up. Okay, so now I'm about to pull into one of the newer neighborhoods in the area, which is Pulte Rutherford. Now, last I looked, which was a couple of weeks ago, they did have one home for sale, brand new from the builder in here. But the reality of it is that if you want a house in here, you're going to find it on the resale market now. This neighborhood completed in the last year and was only started about 3 or 4 years ago. So this was a very quick seller. And the reason that I think this sold so quickly is because of the pricing in here. They had stuff from the 300s up into the 4 and 5s, but a majority of the homes in here were at a really good price point. To give you an idea of what this growth looks like, I'm going to put a map up on the screen here. This map is the permit density map for Wake County for 2022. The areas of red show where the highest concentration of new development is going on. Of course, there's multiple spots around Raleigh where there's a lot of development, but take a look at this part of the county. Notice how the Holly Springs, Fuquay-Varina, and Wake County side are all highlighted, and that is for exactly the reason I'm telling you about right now. So looking at this map, do you understand what I'm talking about? If you're looking for a home around the Raleigh area, all my contact info is in the description below, so please just reach out and we can get you started on the home buying journey the right way.